Hello, I'm Stu Friedman, and I've been teaching at the Wharton School, the University of Pennsylvania, since 1984. I am thrilled to welcome you to the start of Better Leader, Richer Life. Thousands of people, from seasoned business leaders to students in all different stages of life, have gone through this course, described in my book, Total Leadership, Be a Better Leader, Have a Richer Life. People around the world have gained practical knowledge about how to pursue what I call four-way wins: better performance at work, at home, in the community, and for themselves personally. The Total Leadership book is a helpful resource for your experience in our course, and it's available for download and in audio. In this first week of the course, there are 4 short lecture videos, starting with this one, in which we will launch your Total Leadership experience. In the second of this week's videos, I'll give you an overview of the Total Leadership principles and method. Then, I'll show you how to assess your skills and define your goals for our course. Finally, in the last video this week, I'll go over our course plan so you can clearly see the road ahead as you begin to take the next steps in your Total Leadership journey. I hope and expect that this will be a fun and fulfilling course for you, and that you'll learn practical, real-world lessons for what it means for you to be a better leader and have a richer life. All right, let's begin. Rich Sisek was one of the people who took this course. Rich was a general manager at a large telecommunications company, and he had this to say about his experience.
I woke up one day and I was 37 years old, and I really didn't feel like I had fulfilled anything about my life. I had all these great professional accomplishments and a lot to be proud of, but I was like, well, what am I doing? I felt like, wow, if I think about my life now versus where it was a year ago, I would rate myself, if you remember the rating you do, How's Your Life? I'd say 1 or 2 while I was in the class. Now it's probably 9 or 10. And I think the key was, one, learning to really learn from the experiments. Those are very powerful things that you'll do later in the class, that if you set them up thoughtfully, you'll learn new ways to approach things. And the combining theme was very big for me, and how do I get more things done in parallel? And once I was able to do that, the change in my life was just dramatic.
The story of Rich's transformation is unique to him, but you can take similar steps to create your own story, though the details will be different, unique to you. Through our course, which I initially developed at Ford Motor Company and have been teaching at Wharton and refining since 2001, I'll show you a fresh approach for developing your leadership capacity that is also a proven method for integrating your work or school, your home or family life, your community, and your private self, your mind, body, and spirit. I'll show you how to make real progress, step by step, by offering advice and examples from real people who've already been through this program. You can view more videos of alumni at our website, totalleadership.org. There are other resources there too, and I'll tell you more about them as we move forward. This course is about leadership from the point of view of the whole person. So let me start by asking you this question, which will be the first of many questions I ask you. What kind of leadership do we now need in our world? What's the first word or phrase that comes to mind when I ask you this question? Now, I've asked this question of audiences around the world, and responses vary, and there are many factors that matter. But the most common response I hear is adaptive, flexible, capable of responding quickly to change, the ability to learn. And that's not surprising, is it? The world is moving so fast that the skill we need most is the ability to change with it. Well, let's just take a minute to reflect on some of the massive shifts that have occurred over the past decade, the past few decades really, transformations that have produced a radically different landscape for us to navigate. There are societal shifts where women have progressed into positions of power in society. There are new family structures that are abounding, that look very different than the ones that were common, certainly when I grew up. There are huge cultural changes. What we see, for example, in new entrants to the workforce is a much keener desire for meaningful work that has a positive social impact. There's also much greater mobility across different companies and industries. Of course, we're living now in the digital age, where the deluge of data that threatens to drown us makes it really hard to focus on the things that matter and to attend to the people who matter most. And then there's globalization, which forces all of us to be able to learn how to quickly connect with people who are very different from us. I wrote about some of these changes in a recent book called Baby Bust: New Choices for Men and Women in Work and Family. It's based on a 20-year study that compared the class of 1992 here at Wharton with the class of 2012. Among other surprising findings, we found that when we asked the question, do you plan to have or adopt children? Yes, probably, not sure, probably not, and no. The percentage of people who said yes in 1992, men and women, was 78. In 2012, that number dropped to 42%. That shift and the reasons for it is what that book is about. Again, the world has changed so much, and the kind of leadership needed for the future, for now and for the future, is very different than the world that most of us grew up in. For more on what these changes mean for our families, our work, and our society, you might want to read this short book. The point is that we need a new kind of leadership for our brave new world, one that's about mobilizing people towards a personal leadership vision, not just a vision for our work lives. An approach that focuses on achieving results in all the different parts of life and on harmony among them. It's not just about influence from the top down anymore, but at all levels in organizations and in all domains of life. The big idea is that leadership today can't just be about getting things done through others at work. It's got to be about life. And that's what our course is about. I'm going to teach you a systematic, flexible approach for creating sustainable change to improve performance in all the different parts of life. This week, we begin. Understanding the context, the ideas and methods, our goals, and our plan for the weeks ahead. And then in the weeks to come, through lectures, assignments that are about you and that involve diagnosis of what matters most to you, dialogues with important people in your life, and discovery through experiments in your real world, peer feedback, and discussions with classmates, will bring to life in a way that's customized for your situation these three principles. Be real. Act with authenticity by clarifying what's important. Be whole. Act with integrity by respecting the whole person. And be innovative. Act with creativity by continually experimenting with how things get done. Then, as we approach the end, you'll reflect on what you've done, what you've learned about yourself, and what you've learned about your ability to create meaningful change that's truly sustainable, because it's good not just for you, but also for your work or school, your family, and your community. Now, why should anyone care about the practice of total leadership? And what needs does this course address? Well, people try it for a variety of reasons. Some feel unfulfilled because they're not doing what they really love. Some feel unfocused. Too many of their daily activities are inconsistent with what they value and who they really want to be. Others feel overwhelmed. The parts of their lives don't seem to fit together into a whole, so they're pulled in too many different directions. Still others feel like they're in a rut. They want to find something new that taps their creative energy and engages them, but they lack the clarity and the courage to do so. They feel that their lives are out of control and lack the kind of flexibility they need to fit it all in. Some have been told they're great team players, but they've struggled to unlock their potential to advance to higher levels of responsibility in their careers. This course can help you to grow and better perform in all the different parts of your life, to feel more purposeful, more connected, and more optimistic about your ability to shape your future. The way it's been built and revised over many years of practice in organizations and with students around the world, it's customized for anyone interested in becoming a better leader and having a richer life. Now, you may not see yourself as a leader, but I believe that everyone can and should think of themselves as leaders. The idea of being a leader, in its most important sense, means being the agent of your own life, influencing the people and things you care about most in the world, leading the life you want. I'm here to help you to find mutual value among your work or professional life, your home, your community, and your personal life. I'm going to guide you on a process of transformation through which you'll learn how to realize actual gains, just as Rich Sissick did. But this course cannot be the be-all and end-all of a fulfilling life. That said, I am confident that if you follow along and engage fully in the assignments, the feedback to your peers, your class discussions, you'll learn a new way of looking at things and a new set of skills for creating sustainable change as a leader in all domains of your life.
The Total Leadership experience has been absolutely unbelievable. If you look at this experience as something that really fundamentally can change your life, and you open your mind as you go through the journey of the class, you'll see how you're the one that's in charge of how this class turns out. This class, I think, can really fundamentally change who you are as a person if you let it, and I really hope you guys take the journey.
I'll start this journey with you during the weeks ahead in our course, and I hope and expect it's going to be fun. And when we reach the end, in a couple of months, well, then we'll commence. We'll really begin. For having learned important practical lessons, you'll then be ready to truly get started, to be a better leader, and have a richer life. All right, that's the end of the first lecture, and in the next one, I'll describe the main principles in a little bit more depth and talk about the impact of the Total Leadership Program.